Hello, thank you for tuning into this interview. I am Eleen Meleng, the Content Director of CDAO Indonesia. I have here with me Dr. Sankaraiah Sreeramula to talk about integrating data into decision making. Before going into that, Dr. Sankaraiah, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, thank you so much, Eleen. My name is Dr. Sankaraiah Sreeramula, but people call me as Sankar, okay? Simple people call Sankar. So I'm currently working as Chief Data Scientist in APP Sinarmas in Indonesia since 2018. I take care of all the data analytics team in APP Sinarmas. We do different projects ranging from forestry operations to mill operations and also the sales operations. So wherever data is there, we all involved and we see the business value from the data. That's a quick introduction.
Awesome. Let's dive into the topic. So, in your opinion, Dr. Sankar, how has the role of data in making business decisions evolved over the past few years?
Looking at data evolution, let me talk about a first data evolution, which we need to talk about it. Let's talk about the IT era. Typical IT era started in 2000. So even when we talk about these days, right? But even since 2000, when it started digitalizing, right? So see, around 2000, the complete manual work is transformed into digital format. The typewriting, the paperwork to the computerization work started 2000. So even 2000 to 2010, we had a lot of changes in the data. So manual format to digital format, we already started. But what happened is it's a breakthrough of the information to the management. So how you can bring the breakthrough from the information to represent to the management, because the data loss used to happen, right? The papers missing, the lot of data used to happen, different things. Now the data missing format is solved in the era of 2000 to 2010. That's a decade time it took it. So when we start in a second decade is in 2010, that's where we talk about data data evolution, right? The typical, that's where we talk about the time of big data, because the data is already started evolution. If you talk about the social media, Instagram, all these, Facebook, everyone, right? So but what happens is we have a data now. What happened is during this evolution, how we are able to utilize this data into a proper format. So there is a formats started evolving. If you're looking at the one in generally we talk about when we wanted to scale out the value, right? We have to see the x-axis, the data regulation, and also data progressing. So y-axis, we always see the value out of it. When the data is keep growing, our data is evolving, how much value we are deriving. So when we looking at again the data complexity also comes under x-axis. You can also put it a reverse way as well. So when data complexity increase, how the business values, right? End of the day, right? You and me, everyone, we all talk about the data. So we see, if you take about a simple example, your phone, over the years, the data storage is keep increasing. We are spending money, right, for a storage. So, but we also should have some benefit out of it. Same thing, the business value which I'm talking is, that's a value driven. So the value which we talk about it, then we derive the types of data analytics: descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, prescriptive, optimizations, and so on. So which means is like simple way what is happening, how many and how often, where, what will happen. Those things we talk about a simple analytics. That's value is also simple. When we go to the further, when the data complexity also increase, business value also increase, that's why we call it as a predictive and prescriptive. So what is going to happen if we talk about any manufacturing sector, which machine is going to break down? Is like if you take it automotive sector, when the car is going to break down, like all latest technologies cars, right? That gives us indication that there will be some problem in your car. So that kind of evaluation we are in today. So even we are looking at it, optimization. What is the best I can do? That is what we are doing it. Predictive, prescriptive is already done. Now the next level is optimization. What best I can do in a business value terms. That's the first
Yeah,
question.
that's very interesting. And what trends do you foresee in this area for 2023? Maybe you want to narrow down the response to what you will see in Indonesia, especially.
So if you're looking at Indonesia, especially in Southeast Asia, the fastest economy growing is Indonesia. That's the first thing. Then second thing is the data adaptability. Yeah? That's the best in, I can see it, even though I worked in different countries in Asian. The fastest the data adaptability is Indonesia, even though you talk about different things, right? I'll give a simple example. It's beyond our topic, but I wanted to give adaptability, simple social example. Indonesia is not a coffee country, right? So Indonesia is a tea drinking country. But if you look at last 1 to 2 decades, the completely country transformed to a coffee country. Yeah? So you can see every corner is a coffee shops. The Kopi Kanangan is one of the example how the data driven. The data driven is so they are equally competitors to the Starbucks today. So they have done a massive analysis on how to attract the youth population. This is the one example I can clearly say that the trends which we can foresee in Indonesia is concerned, they are faster adaptability. And the second thing is the data utilization is very fast, especially our president also, right? He is bringing a lot of initiatives on digital. The same thing, I can say that I have seen a few countries, the fastest digital apps, and you can see the this Gojek, Grab, those things as well. So all these I can see in the Southeast Asia, the fastest adaptability and fastest growing trend in usage is concerned in digital. So I
Yeah,
can see Indonesia is will be it's a graph is going like this.
that's a very interesting example you got there. So narrowing it down to the context of Asia Pulp and Paper, can you give an example of a significant business decision that you and your team have made based on data insights, and how did data play a role in that decision?
So when we're looking at our company is concerned, right? We are a diversified company. We are world's largest paper company, and we
Mm-hmm.
have a wide operations in forestry. Since which we are talking about a manufacturing sector, right? Our manufacturing sector is a paper manufacturing, paper, tissue, and different products of a paper products. So what our products all requires is a base product is a wood. So the wood is also most of the wood either we buy or we have our partners forestry plantation and so on. The problem here is Indonesia is a diversified country, 17,000 recognized islands. Unrecognized islands, there is also plantation is there. The problem here is the wood. We should get it in on time, certain moisture and so on. So the wood has to be right time, it has to reach to the mill. So that is one of the challenges, like how to manipulate the data, means like how to understand the data, manipulate in the sense how to understand. So which place mill is there, which place the wood is there. So when to harvest in the sense cutting the trees, when to cut and when to transport, how optimally we have to transfer in a diversified land. So a lot of places in Indonesia, we can't transport on a road. We have to transport via water as well. There is a small boats or ships we have to transfer as well. So that is one of the ways we are also optimizing and utilizing the data, how effectively we can utilize and bring the value to a manufacturing sector. That's a raw material is concerned. Then in a mill side itself, if you see the mill is a huge mills, we are having it. So the mill operations as well. So the day to day, as we grown population is increasing, the products requirements is also keep increasing. Even though everyone talks about white paper usage is reducing, we are converting into different formats like tissues. This usage is drastically increasing. The packaging goods and different like paper bags coming up. So even our clothes into different types of wood material clothes are doing. So that's a pulp is the raw material. We make a pulp as well. The pulp can be used into the viscose as well. All these stretchable clothes made into is as well a wood material. So this manufacturing sector as well, So we have to, the productivity should be increased. How we can increase? We have a fixed manpower, fixed mill, and we have a fixed wood as well. How we can increase? This is what data-driven technologies brings. So like a given power, given a raw materials, how you can optimize in a, so this is what data analytics we are using in a different formats of different technology trends, which can leverage and which can boost up the productivity in a optimizing on a given power, like breakdown times we have to minimize it. Now, so means anticipating what will be happening in the future is any machine breakdown. So we are doing this kind of predictive maintenance, a lot of digitalization, which machine is going to break down, how the, because every minute downtime, there will be huge production loss. How to minimize the breakdown by anticipating the futures. So this is a one aspect of a manufacturing sector is concerned. After, see, I talked about a raw material, I talked about a products manufacturing, right? Now we also need to sell it. The problem here is, again, our mills is also diversified. Let's say one of mill is completely remote. You can't transfer or you can't ship on a road. We have to ship that the products into some river based to certain extent, and from there again starts. So all these we also exports to the 153 countries. So our sales is also diversified, logistics is diversified, and sales is also how to, because different country scenarios are different, currency rates, country fluctuations, there are a lot of things are economy fluctuations, a lot of things are happening, right? So how to make optimized price, that is a one thing is also we use a data driven technologies, like how effectively we can focus on a demand or a sales, how to optimize the logistic as well, that we call it as a freight cost as well. So these kind of a different data driven technologies we use on a decision making. Mainly what we do is here always we are talking about a continuous business growth. We also keep on looking at how to grow, and also we are bringing always a knowledge and innovation, because this is what makes us a competitive enough. We also need to be innovative. And another one is what is happening is we are also looking at new business opportunities. So like using our um, data, we are also looking at a decision making in terms of a new business opportunities, and also adaptability. So over the period, the technology is changing, the way of business is changing, the adaptability in the sense. So as I said earlier, white paper we used to use more. Now white paper usage is reducing. So we have to adapt to the new way of products to make it. If I only can make white paper, I cannot survive, right? So that's where we wanted to quick adaptability to the new business opportunities. So, and also how we can effectively utilize it. So if you talk about different terms of, right, so we have to be quick enough. So we have to quick enough to the reach to the market trends.
Yeah, that's very, very interesting. And building up upon that, Dr. Sankar, you said that you use data in different stage, like raw material, manufacturing, and then selling. How do you ensure that the data you use to inform decision in these steps are accurate and reliable?
That's a great question. So, so that's the biggest challenge for us as a data scientist, right? We have a bigger challenge on that. So the data quality is the biggest challenge.
Yeah.
So a lot of things comes in a different formats. We have manual forms, we get Excel sheet, we also get a PDF scan sheet, like receipts, invoices, and so on. A lot of things is like we get different databases, different data formats. That's the biggest challenge for us, and it took a while for us doing lot of different metrics and assessing the data. And the second thing is, second biggest problem is not only quality we are talking about it, which is the right data. That is also challenge. Even though we are not talking about the quality of the data, we get a quality of data, which is the right data. We may have enormous of data, right? So that enormous data is also given a time we wanted to analyze it and to bring a business value. That used to be a biggest challenge. So what we used to do is how we ensure the right data are what I call it as in a optimized manner, the given data can bring business value in a quicker terms. Because if I have a huge data, I'm keep on doing different analysis, and if I take it like 3 to 6 months, complete business value changes. The business changes. So that's where is like what we do is we came up into certain metrics. So we sat with the businesses. A lot of times is like this. We collected different metrics from the business users, how they used to do it when it is a crisis time, how they used to do it. So then we prepared certain kinds of benchmarks. So I should have this kind of data formats. I should have this kind of notations. I should have this kind of information. So then we built an AI based system. So whatever the data we get, so we run through this kind of auto quality a test. So we call it as autocracy. So automatically quality check. So that's the kind of robotic process. So that speed up our process. It took a while for us to make that system. So now we completely depending on our system. So that system tells us which is the right data and which is the right data. And also there could be over the period business also can change, right? So then this system is also tells when is the data is changing it. So then what we have to do, that kind of a alert based system we made it. So our system tells us which when to ensure, when to take a decision in a data assessing quality. So that's where is like we came into different strategies to identify right data to get a quick business value.
Yeah, that is a very interesting initiative you have there. And like you mentioned, accuracy, reliability, and ensuring that the data that you analyze is the right data has been consistent across every data analytic professional that I've spoken to. Everyone has challenges in this term. And besides that, Dr. Sankar, what are the challenges that you want to, perhaps highlight when you use data to make business decisions?
Um, Before going to that, I need to answer one basic problem
Yeah.
we face only this company, right? Wherever when we bringing a technology here, we should talk about a technology as well, right? So here,
Mm.
the biggest challenge here is the data. The data making a lot of impacts to the business. So people started, especially the ground level team, so the bottom level people, right? They started panic. So if these
Uh-huh.
guys come, so what will happen? So there will be some kind of things were happening, right? Bottom level, there will be a lot of hidden things used to happen. It. So now what it made us is a data revealed. Data even just before that, I was having another meeting. So we were talking about a plantation. Plantation actually certain things where data was not revealed. So he was telling that is what operation. See, what happens is certain things they have to record it. They don't record it because they think I'm looking and I'm working on a remote island who will come and see. But now our data gives us what is happening on the field, the visibility brought. So initially that was the biggest challenge, how to educate them. That's the first thing, to get a reliable data from them, because they're the people need to give us the data, the ground team. The second challenge is, right, if we solve that problem, again the panic again starts another way, right? The panic is once we make a system, the system used by them again, they again start panic. If this system comes, whether my job will be there or not. Even everyone talking about chat gpt will replace job. That's the biggest people don't understand, is no technology is going to replace jobs. If you talk about 2000 and before 2000 internet came, and um, the software era started, right? Everyone start panicking is my jobs will go, but actually it's a boost of the jobs. Even today, same thing. The jobs are not going to replace, and jobs going to be transformed. So that's the biggest challenge for us, is like the change management and adaptability.
Mm.
So I can say that in a decision making, right, in a business decisions, the biggest challenge is when we go to the management and stakeholders, their biggest question is how this can be used by ground people. Did you get approval from them, how feasible they are going to use it. Because we are going to replace a manual with the gadgets. Now, a lot of things they used to write a paper. Now we are giving a smart devices to do it. Are they are they adaptable? Are they capable of using it? So this is the biggest challenge than what I talk about data analytics point of view. If you talk about it, my biggest challenge over the period, almost I can say that 8 to 9 years in my data career, before my career was different on a software side. So these 8 to 9 years data science career itself, I had a biggest challenge is convincing the users, the adaptability of usage. So that's one of the challenge I can say that. And so how we did it is like uh, I think a next question.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the next question would be about, how do you integrate data into decision-making processes, and how do you ensure that decision makers are data literate enough to leverage it effectively? I think that's the point that you are about to go
Yeah,
previously.
so
Yeah.
it's like I see we have to address here is before going to detail your question, right? I should answer one question, previous question itself, right?
Mm.
So it's like how to make um, better way of leveraging a data in a business decisions and to resolve the challenges. So the challenges, as I said, the user adaptability, what we brought is we started different workshops and the training sessions to lot of change management. So we educated every one of them. So we used to have a different training sessions. We put it a different way of maturity of understanding. We trained them. Hey guys, this is not going to replace your job, this is going to enhance your job. So that transformed a lot. Now people started liking some extent, and this is ongoing journey. So because actually what happens is every person involvement, because when you're looking at a manual process, it used to cover only few percentage of benefit. Now due to this, one benefit to the management is concerned, complete visibility. That's an indirect cost. So another one is, right, due to visibility, as a human tendency is my boss is monitoring, the the bottom person automatically works. Previously, that was not there. So whether boss look at not, but at least if they know the fear of psychology, the it makes to work. So that where is like in that cost brought. And the second thing is they also over the period realize that if I don't adapt, I won't be there. I will be obsolete. So that's where we educate them. So either you transform or you will be obsolete. So that's where is like we made it into different way of training sessions to educate them, to bring into a different level of understanding. So then integrated in the company's decision making process. See, always here is the biggest challenge. Another challenge starts for us is so the challenges which I explained you is a one extent, but another extent what happens is the decision making process. See, the process is actually certain process is already there. So no management wanted to change their process. So when I talk about a people adaptability, when it comes to the management point of view, they already invested. There are a lot of businesses, let's say our manufacturing sector. We have a machines, we have a running process. When we talk about technology, what they tell, my things is already running. Okay, I don't want to change anything. I don't want to replace any machine. Even if you come up, you say that I'm going to boost up your productivity, but that's not sure, right? It's not it's they won't believe the system. So how you can leverage, I have existing system, you bring your technology or your analytics or whatever technology you talk about, AI, chat GPT or whatever things, your analytics, anything. So I have an existing system, you bring your system, so you integrate with that, how you can leverage. This is a one challenge we always hear it. But the problem again here starts is, so the existing system, the bringing a new technology, is it compatible or not? Even a software itself, versions keep on changing it. So sometimes is completely irrelevant. some kind of completely irrelevant. So what happens is how to balance this. This is a one challenge we used to have. So how, let's say, let me give you one simple example. SAP data, if we, most of the manufacturing data is to be stored in SAP. SAP, the data extraction, it is completely different. So you can't see like other data. So how we can, so we have to use a certain tools to extract it and certain way of transforming the data into a different forms. So if, let's say, if I have SAP is a old version, if I bring it in a new SAP, how to transform it? Then again, if I have a non-SAP technology, how I can integrate? So same thing is like if my process is happening in this way, how I wanted to transform into new digital format. So this kind of integration is to be a lot of difficulty, but how we did is, so we have taken a certain kinds of pre-measures. So what we did is slowly, certain cases, we also tried building of interfaces which can bring it to a new format. That's a one step we have done. Second step, what we have done is slowly we also started replacing of it. So what happened is the existing systems we also replaced with a new system slowly without disturbing or without interrupting the process. So always our management expects, so you bring whatever technology, we don't care, but don't disturb our process, or even if it disturb, it shouldn't disturb the process. So this one, because we, what they wanted is always, whatever you make a decision, it has to be enhancing the process, then it is like affecting the process. So we always looking at different scenarios. My biggest um, always I look at it, my biggest challenge always, how I can enhance the business process than a business value. So if I enhance the business process in a right way, automatic the business value comes. So then, and also summary, if I look at it, the given data and the given business issues and given business challenges, and a nutshell, a summary, always as a data guy. So I always look into that, how I can bring a better business process, how I can bring a better business value, then how I can leverage existing things also without affecting any of a humanity. See, end of the day, right? And the fourth point, we also need to take as a society. So we also should be sustainable enough. So whatever we bring a things, it shouldn't disturb on a society as well. We also, because we, today's resources we have to restore for a next future generation. So our biggest challenge is the last one, we care and a sustainability. So whatever we bring technology, because electronic wastage is also a huge problem, so we care about a sustainability in different forms. So a different form of reusing things, and a lot of COT generation also we do analysis. We do different analysis where all we are generating a lot of pollution things. So how we can minimize it, where all we can minimize it. The now we are caring of a lot of things on a sustainability, how we can bring all our operation into sustainability. All our wastage is converted into electricity generation. We don't buy electricity, we generate all from waste, so we are sustainable. So water wastage also we are reusing it. So always like wherever the COT is generated, that COT we are transforming into energy format. So we are making a more sustainable. Even a tree cutting, previously people talk about, right? We don't put a fire, we restore into soil. So we are transforming into a fertilizer. We refill into the soil and we transform into a fertilizer. So that's where we are making a more sustainable in nature. We are becoming a more sustainable, and we are making a better society for tomorrow.
Yeah, that's very interesting, Dr. Sankar. I feel like I can chat with you for hours if we touch upon the sustainability topic. So thank you for joining us today and sharing your insights on integrating data into decision making. It has been a fascinating conversation exploring, the evolution of data, the evolution of role of data in business decision while ensuring accuracy and reliability. Your expertise and experience have provided insights into the world of data-driven decision making. Thank you so much, Dr. Sankar.
Thanks a lot. Have a nice day.
You
Take
too.
care.